I get this question all the time. John, I have 3 quotes from Sunrun, Tesla, and a local solar installer. The prices are all over the place. How do I know which one's fair? So why do these solar quotes feel like, a game of roulette? One installer will say $152 a month, another says $181 a month. The systems seem to be all the same size, same panels. It's enough to make your head spin. Today, I'm going to show you how to cut through the confusion with price recommendations for not only solar leases, but loans and cash purchases. So let's start with some lease pricing tips. Now, lease costs are monthly payments based on solar energy production. Often, they have an annual increase built in, known as an escalator. For example, my friend David was offered a lease at $167 a month with a 0.99% escalator, with power at 15 cents a kilowatt hour. The monthly price is always based on a price per kilowatt hour of solar energy. And leases might have an escalator. The monthly price of energy increases by the escalator's amount every year. So 0.99% every year, and the leases stretch for terms like 25 years. Now, when you compare solar lease prices, always compare the price per kilowatt hour. The lower the price per kilowatt hour, the better the deal. Now, compare leases with the same kind of escalators. Compare a 0% escalator lease with another 0% escalator lease, a 0.99% escalator lease with another 0.99% escalator lease. Don't compare a 2.99% with a 0.99. When you compare leases with the same escalator, the lease with the lower per kilowatt hour pricing is the better lease, even if it has a monthly price that is higher than the other one. Let's look at these 3 quotes David got from 3 different companies. Lease one, $167 a month, 0.99% escalator at 15 cents a kilowatt hour. Lease two, $182 a month, 14 cents per kilowatt hour. Lease 3 again, $134 a month, the lowest, but at 16 cents a kilowatt hour with a 0.99% escalator. Option 2 has the lowest price per kilowatt hour. It's the best deal, even though it has the highest price per month. You're actually getting way more solar energy at a lower price because of that lower kilowatt hour price. Now, if $182 looks a little more compared to your budget and the other guys are looking more attractive at the lower price, just ask that solar vendor to reduce a couple of panels. This will bring down the monthly payment, but make sure you keep the same per kilowatt hour price of 14 cents per kilowatt hours like you saw in this quote. Now, here are my general recommendations for lease prices across the US. If you're looking at a 0% escalator, don't pay more than 17 cents per kilowatt hour. A 0.99% escalator, the maximum you should look at paying is about 16 cents per kilowatt hour. A 1.99% escalator, about 15 cents per kilowatt hour is what's the max you should be paying. A 2.99% escalator, 14 cents is what I would stick with. Not pay more than that. Now, lease rates vary by state incentives, and you might see some variations, but these benchmarks, they're pretty solid for most of the markets in the US. Now let's look at cash prices. Solar pricing for systems is not random. It's influenced by the cost of premium panels like the RECs and the Q cells, inverters from SolarEdge, Enphase or Tesla, labor costs, insurance, warranty costs, marketing, sales, and of course, company profit margins. Now, higher price quotes often come from nationwide installers like Sunrun and Sonova, who have large, hefty marketing budgets and big overheads. Tesla is big, but they tend to buck the trend with generally lower solar installation costs. But there's a catch. Tesla usually bundles their solar systems with batteries, which significantly raises the total price. So before you drive into a Tesla solar package, ask yourself, do I really need a battery? If you're unsure, check out my earlier video where I break down exactly when a battery makes sense for your home. Now, on the flip side, rock bottom pricing should raise some red flags. Many solar companies slash prices to win quick sales, but behind the discounts often lurk hidden risks. Cheap equipment, poor workmanship, or worse, companies that don't plan to be around to honor your warranty. That's the biggest one. That's where the price factor comes in. It distills down all the good parts of a fair price solar system. Make sure it accounts for top tier equipment, solid 25-year warranties, fair margins, so that at this pricing you're paying for great quality, great warranty, and you are not lining somebody's pockets. Now, the price factor, it's pretty good for estimating solar installation costs for a cash purchase, but there are some regional variations. Some markets will be a little higher cost, for example, California and New York, because of elevated labor and permitting costs there. Even so, regional differences shouldn't add more than a plus minus 10% variation to the cost that the price factor will give you. Now, these numbers are current as of early 2025. The price factor for up to 10 panels is 3.4. From 11 to 20 panels take a price factor of 3.2, 21 to 30 price factor of 3, and 31 to 40 panels a price factor of 2.9. More than 40 panels, price factor of 2.8. And here's how you use the price factor. Now, solar companies usually estimate how many panels you need based on your past 12 months of energy use. For example, David in Newton, Massachusetts got 3 quotes. 2 were for 17 REC 420 watt panels, and 1 was with 17 Q-cell 410 watt panels. Now we can use the price factor to estimate prices like this: 17 panels into 420 watts into a price factor of 3.2. That's $22,848. David's REC quotes were $24,500 and $25,900, while the Q-cell quote was $23,445. Closer, but still high. Before deciding, David decided to call me and confirm his math, and it was spot on. Now, I offered him the REC system for $22,450 with a better warranty as well. After the 30% tax credit, David's cost dropped down to $15,715, real savings. Let's look at another example. TC from Houston, Texas needed a 22 panel system, and he was looking at low upfront costs. We used the Jinko 430 watt panels, and if you use the factor 22 into 430 watts into a factor of 3, 28,380. Now, but I got the system for TC for just under 27,000. TC was thrilled. He even referred his father-in-law in New Jersey to me, and we are working together right now. If you plan to have solar panels with a battery, you would need to add the cost of the battery to the price factor. A fully installed 10 to 13 kWh battery from Tesla, Enphase, SolarEdge, or Franklin will add about $13,500 to your project cost. Last, not the least, let's look at some loans. Finance solar pricing. Expect your price for the system to be 5 to 10% higher than cash prices. This increase normally covers dealer fees. These are extra costs that go directly to the financing banks. Solar companies have nothing to do with these fees, but they're there. Now, loans that are 8% or higher in cost usually have very low dealer fees. But anything in the region of 3.99 to 5.99% kind of interest loans, they come with much higher dealer fees. In fact, with these so-called lower interest rates, the total system cost can be 30 to 35% higher than if you paid cash for the same system. So while lower interest rates may seem very attractive, always check the total cost to make sure you're not paying way more in the long run. Please reach out to me if you're looking for a fair price quote. I work with some of the best solar installers nationwide, and I promise you fair pricing. And finally, before I let you go, if some of you are wondering how to actually calculate how many panels you need, I've got a video which tells you exactly how to do that. Check this out. It uses something known as a power factor, customized by state, and again, You can calculate the number of panels with just your calculator. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until the next time, happy solar savings.